3,
I'm back.
go!
Hello. Do you want to play a game?
So the movie starts off in this crusty bathroom.
Oh my god!
These boys were just getting a good night's rest, just to wake up in the motherland of STDs. Like, bro, I'm seeing AIDS, herpes, Ice Spice music. Even look in the corner, I'm seeing 6'5" roaches that are dodging this raid like it's child support. But anyways, so we get introduced to these two guys who are chained up with no memory of how they got here. But as they look around, they see a third person in the room that can possibly help them. Oh, never mind. He's very dead. This poor soul has a gun in one hand and a tape recorder in the other. As you guys can tell, this is a very confusing situation. So Einstein over here starts doing the calculations through his head and gets the perfect idea.
Nice.
He starts screaming and pulling on a metal chain, because that works in every horror movie. Anyways, we meet the characters. We have Gordon and I can't really remember this guy's name.
My name is very confused. What's your name?
What is that, Nigerian? Anyways, Gordon realizes that the only thing not covered in straight feces is this clock, so it must be here for some reason. Adam then finds an envelope with a tape inside. Gordon also finds a tape, bullet, and key inside his pants. But Jigsaw is a straight troll because he gives them keys that don't even work. So with nothing to lose, they start looting the dead body. They get the tape recorder and they play their tapes, hearing Jigsaw's voice for the first time.
You're probably wondering where you are. I'll tell you where you might be. You might be in the room that you die in.
Yappa, 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 yappa. Shut it, please.
After this, he was just talking in IG captions. He eventually lost me. But I wasn't the only one, because Gordon was not feeling that answer as well. So he passes Adam his tape to run the track.
Your aim in this game is to kill Adam. You have until 6 on the clock to do it.
The tape also tells us that the third person shot himself after being poisoned. And if Adam isn't dead by 6, Gordon's wife and daughter will die. But Gordon listens closer and he hears, "Follow your heart." They then look at the toilet and realize that whatever they need is in there. This counter over here counts the amount of times in this movie I personally would have surrendered my life to God and just died for things I simply will not partake in. You said dip my hand in this forbidden booty juice? I'd rather get sent off to Jesus same day shipping, cause no! But Adam does not care. He goes exploring like he's Dora through straight feces.
Oh my god. Step back, I think I'm gonna vomit!
Just to find out that what they were looking for wasn't even in there. It was at the top. And get this, Jigsaw gives them saws, not to cut through the chains, but through their legs. Bro, I'm still confused. What did these guys even do to get put in this situation? We've gotten no backstory. But on saying that, Gordon says that he knows who's doing this to them. And we jump into our first of many, and I mean many, flashbacks. So some time ago, the police found a similar trap that these guys are in, but the guy who was in it wasn't so lucky.
Man, I'm dead.
He found out that Jigsaw hates people who don't value their lives. So when he found out that this dude was trying to self-delete himself, he said,
No! Don't jump!
Okay, don't jump.
bro said skip therapy. You should kill yourself now. You know what? Here goes 60 cal. Don't make a mess. So from this flashback, we understand that Jigsaw targets people who don't value their life or the lives of others. But then Gordon says the most 10-digit IQ sentence I've ever heard.
Actually, technically speaking, he's not really a murderer.
I see what you're saying, but no, this is unconsensual self-deletion. If I tied you down, both buttocks in the air, in front of Fleece Johnson, the booty warrior, I'm cool then, right? Foolishness! Also, if any of you dorks go in my comments and say, well, technically, Crispy, if Fleece Johnson is the one taking your booty, then you are innocent.
Have you lost your cotton picking mind?
Also, going forward, keep in mind, this movie has so many flashbacks, so I'm gonna do my best to make sure y'all aren't confused. So, still in the flashback, the police discover Jigsaw has a sneako chair in all of his games so he can get a front row seat to watch what happens. And they also find at the crime scene a pen that belongs to Gordon. And speaking of Gordon, the scene cuts to him talking about this patient named John who has an inoperable tumor. And I can't lie, this patient is cooked. If his starting lineup is this Doc McStuffin looking team. Like look, shorty over here is looking at bro like she wants a colonoscopy.
You's a freaky ass nigga.
They also have this weird dude interrupting Gordon talking about some.
His name is John, Dr. Gordon.
Okay.
But Gordon gets interrupted by Detective Tapp and Singh, who've been on this Jigsaw case for a while. They show him the pen that they found at the crime scene, then take him to the station. But Gordon manages to beat the allegations. But since they have him here, They let him listen in on one of the stories of a survivor of Jigsaw. But this story was so insane that my mama said if she catches me watching this, that she finna turn my African cheeks black and blue. So my boy GETEm, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see from this scene right here, this girl Amanda is in bad shape. So the camera pans over to this other room, and that's where we see this white girl getting interviewed by 2 black cops. And if I didn't know this was a horror movie, I totally would have thought something else was about to go down. Anyways, the camera zooms in as we get a close-up on this girl's face, and the detective starts to ask her questions about her experience with Jigsaw. And by the way shorty hitting this 1,000-yard stare right now, I can tell she's seen some shit. So she starts nodding off into a flashback, and when she wakes up, she finds herself in the worst trap in the entire series, the reverse bear trap. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I give her like a 30% survival rate. So she wakes up and starts reasonably crashing out the second she realizes the situation she's in. And before she even has time to gather her thoughts, this TV in the corner of the room randomly turns on. And we see Jigsaw pop up on the screen for the first time.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, maybe I'll go to school next year.
Oh shit, wrong channel. Hello, Amanda. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
So after that freaky ass FaceTime they just had, Jigsaw starts to show Amanda an example of what the mechanism strapped to her head is gonna do if she can't escape in 60 seconds. And I can't even hold y'all. It's brutal. He then goes on to tell Amanda that the only way she can get out of this situation is if she can find the key hidden somewhere in this room.
There is only one key to open the device. It's in the stomach of your dead cellmate. Start digging in his butt, twin.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there has to be another way, cause I'm not doing that. So after seeing the stage 5 CTE she's about to get if she can't escape this trap, Amanda starts tweaking out and accidentally stands up, which ends up triggering the timer of the trap to go off, and the 60 seconds starts to tick down. So we cut back out of the flashback for a second just to see Amanda back in this room with these detectives. And at this point, everyone starts to give her the side eye, cause by the looks of it, she shouldn't have been able to survive this. But that's when we find out that Jigsaw must have a soft spot for the baddies, cause even though this trap is scary as hell, he really gave her the freest eats in this entire series. And sure, I still know this would be hella traumatizing, but if you had to decide between getting the key from this man's body or your head getting squeezed to death by this contraption, there's only one right answer. Unless the contraption doing the head squeezing is Ice Spice. And there's 2. So we cut back into this flashback, and that's when we see this dead body laid out on the floor right in front of Amanda. And when she walks up to it, we find out that this man Jigsaw left her a gift. And if things couldn't get worse, Amanda starts to hear the timer ticking down even more. But right before she can do it, oh my god, my dog wakes up. And I'm not gonna lie, the fact that this man ends up waking up right as Amber has to decide between herself or him makes her choice so much harder. So obviously she decides to take her time and, oh, 30 seconds? Yeah, I think we all knew how this was gonna play out. And I can't even blame Amanda for doing what she had to do in this situation, given the fact that she only had 30 seconds left to make a decision. And even then, she barely gets out of the trap in time. So after catching her first body, we see Amanda sitting on the floor in shock, just crying. And as she's crying, this 3'5" ad nigga Jigsaw pulls up on this tricycle and tells her that she survived this game.
Congratulations, you are still alive.
And you would probably think after all that she's been through, she would want to help these detectives catch the man who did this to her. But instead, she decides to look up and say the dumbest thing imaginable.
He helped me.
Boy, if you don't— Nah, this is a prime example of that Stockholm syndrome. Like how you getting tortured and end up falling in love with a doll built like a Nintendo 64 controller. Shit was so confusing, she had the detectives looking at us for answers. Like, I don't know, she crazy. And that's the last we see of Amanda for now.
So after hearing Amanda's story, Tapp drops off Gordon and goes straight back to the station and watches the Jigsaw footage over and over. He got Jigsaw's ad revenue and retention going crazy, but all this obsessing pays off because he hears a fire alarm in the back of the video and sees a gang symbol on the wall. And peep this, cause Batman got some calm. First, he checks for all the fire alarms that went off in that gang area. Then he pinpoints where the alarm could have been in earshot. They then pinpoint Jigsaw's location, his name, his baby mother's name. They even got his meat size. These boys are cooking. Nah, I'm playing. But they did find out where he's staying. Hey, they were cooking. Until they weren't. Because they decided to pull up to his crib with no backup. Didn't even tell anyone they were going. Also, if we know he specializes in booby traps, why are we just walking around his crib all willy-nilly? These two fools look like the Temu version of Rush Hour.
Sit down, big fella.
Hey, when push comes to shove, you think this Walmart Jackie Chan is prepared to crack a dude on his head? No! They start searching Jigsaw's crib, and they find a dude tied up, captured in a trap. But just when bro over here thought he was safe, Detective Tapp said,
"So here we go. I'm about to make myself retarded,
Because when we hear Jigsaw coming up the elevator, Tapp covers bro back up and goes to hide. My guy, arrest him! It's not like y'all need any proof. The proof is sitting in the chair, crying and pissing himself. But Jigsaw walks in and emerges, spouting some BS.
Don't cry. I've given your life a purpose.
They pop out, putting Jigsaw at gunpoint. But Jigsaw said,
Wanna see a magic trick? Abracadabra!
Jigsaw tries to go on another monologue, talking about some riddle me this. Shut up! Jigsaw then tells Tapp that he has cancer. As if we care. Get on your knees! While Jackie Chan starts using his full brain and just shoots the trap, saving the guy. But this useless guy Tapp takes his eyes off of Jigsaw and gets... Jackie Chan then chases after him, ready to 1v1. This man is straight hooping! He catches Jigsaw lacking and pumps a 20 in his back. Then he slowly approaches him in a totally normal hallway. But as he's walking, he triggers a trap wire. And it... Jigsaw escapes as Tapp with his McDonald's special "Can I get a McPick 2 hairline" comes downstairs, facing the consequences of his actions. So back in the bathroom, Gordon is telling Adam about his family and throws over his wallet to show him a picture of them. But as Adam is scrolling through the pictures, we see... He then turns it over and it reads X marks the spot. Sometimes you read more with your... What are you talking about? What are we talking about here? Whatever happened to just a simple riddle? Jigsaw, can you please just be normal? Bro even had the audacity to sign it. You ain't no celebrity. We don't know you, big bruh. And instead of showing Gordon the picture, Adam pockets it for himself, which is kind of confusing. I don't know if he's doing it because he's evil or he's doing it for leverage or because he doesn't trust him. We'll see. And anyways, we get sent into another flashback. God dang! Can we please progress this movie forward? Like half the time, they don't even let us know it's a flashback. No warning, no turning signal. This movie must have been directed by someone's Asian grandma.
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lanes? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else.
So in this flashback, we see the last time that Gordon saw his family. His daughter wakes them up saying that there's a bad man in her closet, but he just takes her back to bed and plays Little Piggy with her toes, which I will be blurring out for the weirdos in the back. I just seen a comment saying, potential feet finder D1 athlete.
You what?
Weird. Buddy, you're weird.
Gordon then gets a call and has to leave, and we find out that this relationship is on its last leg.
Damn.
But later that night, the daughter sees EDP looking at her through her closet. Oh, nah. But mom busts through the door, ready to protect her baby. She about to put belt to cheeks. Oh dang, that's tough. We find out that the pred who did this was none other than Zep, the doctor we met before in the hospital. So he must be Jigsaw, right? But little does Zep know that he's being watched by Detective Tapp. So we're back in the present with Tapp, who's now obsessed with catching Zep. He's watching Zep, who's also watching Gordon and Adam. So in the bathroom, Adam secretly uses the message on the photo and tells Gordon to turn off the lights, which reveals an X on the wall. They bust through it and find a box, and they use the keys from before that didn't work to open it. The box contains a phone, a couple of cigarettes, and a note. But Jigsaw is pissing me off because he gives them a phone that doesn't even work. It only receives calls. I just know that he's behind that camera straight geeking. But then Gordon questions Adam on how he even knew to turn off the lights. So Adam fesses up and shows him the pictures, and that boy is tweaking. Adam, your time has come. You guys remember the note? Gordon then dips the cigarette in the dead dude's blood because remember, he was poisoned. But he then turns off the lights and then whispers something to Adam that neither Zep or I could hear. So when the lights turn back on, Gordon gives Adam the non-poison cigarette and proceeds to do whatever this is. My guy, are you supposed to be dead?
This nigga is trash.
It was so bad that Jigsaw chases him just because. And I ain't even mad at it. Matter of fact, give him one more. Bro got tased so badly it jogged his memory. He now remembers how he got here. But this movie can't go without a flashback. So I'ma just give you the spark notes because I'm not doing this again. We find out that this dude Adam was taking pictures of Gordon. Bro had a whole collection. But after the flashback, Gordon gets a call from the phone.
Yo, what's good, ho? I got your daughter and baby mama on the phone. Say hi. Daddy, you a stupid hoe. I told you that EDP was messaging me on Discord and Roblox.
But just before the call ends, Gordon's wife tells him that Adam is lying. He knows you. Then we find out more to Adam's story. Adam was getting paid to track rich people having an affair. And y'all remember when Gordon left his daughter after she said someone was in her closet? It was for a booty call.
But he doesn't go through with it. He's seen the cameras. He knows it's a loyalty test. His girl finna pull up around that corner any second now. Adam then shows Gordon all the pictures that he took of him. But there's one picture he notices that he didn't take. Gordon takes a look and recognizes Zepp. But time is up. It's 6 o'clock and Adam isn't dead. So Zepp calls Gordon and keeps him on the phone as he goes to kill his wife and daughter. But listen, cause I knew this woman had that dog in her. Cause she hits bro with the Uno reverse.
Do it then, nigga.
But she gets distracted by her daughter and they go back to boxing. Gordon hears someone getting fleeced over the phone, but doesn't realize it's his wife putting in work on this man. She's doing combos I've never seen. But during their struggle, they let off 2 shots, which alerts Detective Tapp, who's been watching Jigsaw's building from across the street. Zepp gets her in a chokehold, but she hits a
I said spin.
But all Gordon can hear over the phone is just gunshots and his daughter and wife screaming. So he's over there thinking they got packed up, not even knowing that he married Bruce Lee with a uterus. Mama and her daughter escape right as Tapp pulls up and he gets into a shootout with Zepp. But then Tapp starts reliving the glory days when he used to be a lineman and straight trucks this man, then puts him in a crazy position. Yeah, we got that, pal. You're gay. Zepp smashes a glass over Tapp's head, picks up his gun, and rushes over to Gordon and Adam to kill them. But Tapp is on his cheeks. Tapp eventually catches up to him and pushes him up against the wall like he's Tom Holland. But this ain't your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So he hits a 180 and actually kills Tapp. Bro really accomplished nothing this entire movie. That's tough. Okay, so now we know that the wife and daughter escaped, but Gordon doesn't. And he said he's getting out of here one way or another. And proceeds to use the saw and cuts off his leg. What? Then picks up the gun and shoots at him, even though it's already too late. But Zepp walks in and says, that's not how this works. And ups pole on Gordon, but gets tripped up by Adam. And with a bullet in his chest, he proceeds to take the godforsaken toilet and takes out Zepp, finally killing Jigsaw. Gordon tells him that he's gonna go get help and that he'll be fine. But I ain't trusting this disabled mutt. And Adam is with me because he immediately goes to look for his own escape. But as he searches Zepp, we find out that he's not even Jigsaw. Matter of fact, he's Jigsaw's pawn. He was poisoned and was forced to follow orders for the antidote. And as Adam sits there puzzled, they're
Game over.
Hey, it's been a minute since I did one of these. I'm sorry for the late video. I had some family come in and they took over my room for like a week, and then I got sick. I think you can tell in my voice. It got even worse. It was worse like 2 days ago. I couldn't even speak. But hey, we got the video out for you guys. I made sure I'm not gonna post it unless it was long because I already made y'all wait for a minute. So got it long, make sure it was high quality. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, subscribe. We are almost at 100,000 subscribers. You guys don't understand how crazy this is, how long I've been wanting this. Bro, we're doing it. This is crazy. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for sticking with me on this journey, and I'll see you guys in the next one.